Okay, so just some helpful tips and tricks with Event Scheduler. One other thing I do want to show you, if you are one of those organizations where you're like, I really don't want a lot of people logging into eSpace. I want to give people the capability to enter event requests or request events, but I don't really want a lot of people logging in. We have an option for that too. So let me lay out a scenario for you. Maybe you are the church administrative assistant, or you have a church administrative assistant, and the phone rings and you have people call, whether they are members at the church or the school, or they're just maybe someone from an external organization wanting to see if they can host an event at your facility. Generally, maybe it runs some way as maybe you're writing down details, or you are typing those into your own Google form or external form. Whatever the case, you're taking those details and then you're going to ask the proper channels if they can provide the services, if you can provide the space, things like that. But then you're having to go back and input all that information manually. You can pass that burden of requests and data entry off on other people through our custom event request forms. So those enable you to request events, or a person to request events, by clicking a link without ever accessing the system. So those are hugely helpful. I just want to show you briefly what those look like. I'm going to jump over to settings and event request forms. I've got a few event request forms created here. I've got billable and non-billable, because we do have a billing and invoicing module where you can actually create invoices for spaces, resources, and items that are used, or spaces, resources, services, sorry. So we're just going to look here, and I'm going to look at this event request form number 2, and you have a link for each individual form. This form's already been created. I've changed all my settings. You can change all kinds of settings to mimic your internal request process. That's the really cool part about it. So you can be as detailed as you want, and you can allow them to select spaces, resource, services. You can allow them to add configurations, enter setup details, choose their own recurrences. It's all up to you. These are custom. I love these event request forms. So if I click this link, it's going to take me to this external form. Okay, and this is what the general public's going to see when they click that link. Anybody that has this link is going to be able to request an event at your organization, and they're going to be able to enter details. Let's go ahead and enter just my information here really quick. Try to type it the right way. Let's go ahead and enter my work email and test for webinar. I like showing people this. It's really fun. In the event description, that's where you're going to capture those details. Event date's going to be included. Let's put something in for Saturday, and we'll make this a 9 a.m. To 10 a.m. event. And I've got multiple locations. I need to go ahead. You can require the number of people for your event, and then you can put in some custom questions. You can put in an upload document if you want people to download your facility policy and then upload a signed portion. You can do that. That's really important for things like hold harmless agreements or agreeing to adhere to your facility policy. You can ask custom questions like, tell me your objectives to make sure it aligns with your mission and vision. You can add radio buttons if they need to select certain things. And then we have a real person ID to help you out as a security measure. And then next, they're going to see all the information they input, and then you can give them the opportunity to select from your spaces, resources, and services if you want. You do not have to allow this, but you can if you want. We'll just turn on auditorium for this one. The check mark's going to tell the public it's available, just like your internal request. Very cool. It's also going to let them know if they cannot access that for some reason. It'll let them know that that item's not available. And then if you allow setup details, that's what it's going to look like. And they can also enter it in, and they can add in, we need 12 tables, for example. They can add setup notes if you don't have those configurations built. And then when they hit submit, they're going to submit it for approval. And they're going to have the ability to check on their request to see, if it's been approved or not. I've got a couple here. It looks like I've got one pending, and then the one I just submitted is requested. So they're going to be able to check on that. And then you're going to designate someone to manage intake of those event request forms. So they're going to show up in your menu as an event request. You're going to get that badge notification. You're also going to get an email notification letting you know an event request has been submitted, and you're going to be able to review that request. From there, you have 3 choices. You can submit the event through your regular approval process. So your sub-admins can get involved. If you've got sub-admins that need to approve specific things, you can approve it, or you can decline it and say, no, we're not able to do this. And you can give them a reason. They're going to get an email from you. So once you submit it, watch this. So we're going to say yes. It's going to feed it right into your workflow. There it is. Test for webinar. It then takes on the appearance of an event that's been created internally right within eSPACE. So you've now taken all that work of data entry and you've put it, given the ability to someone else, you've empowered them to make the request on their own. So 2 different options for creating events internally in the system or outside the system. Either way are going to help you. They're going to save you time. You can decide if you want to pass off that data entry to someone else.